Wow.
You got to give props to
Wow.
Monty McNair. He's done some amazing things here, and so far, so good. They still need more. They still need to keep growing. But I think we're going to start seeing more and more from this team each and every week, and I think it's really cool to watch, especially to see they're tied for fifth in offensive rating right now. Hey, that's good. They're not even relying on the 3-pointer to get them through every game. They know how to score when the shot's not falling, and yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far.
And James, that's one of the things that we talked about as well, where the defense isn't necessarily where we'd want it to be. We talked about how this team could possibly be a top 10 offense if everything started clicking. And it seems like it's clicking right now, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's the Warriors who play no defense or the Cavs who are supposedly one of the top defensive teams in the league. Kings going to get to 115, 120. Like that's just what they seem to do right now. And if they could ever find a way to like kind of shore up the defense just a little bit, it's a really good team, man. Because I think they're going to score all year long. I don't think that's an anomaly at all.
Yeah, I mean, but look at how they've won games recently. So we can keep talking about the offense and how good the offense been. But if I'm not mistaken, they finished off the game on Friday with an 8-0 run. Well, you don't have an 8-0 run unless there's an O, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like you don't win a no-hitter unless your team scores a run. So it's nice that you want to give the pitcher all the props for the no-hitter, but he could have pitched, 17 no-hit innings, and if you don't score a run, he doesn't get the win, and he doesn't get the no-hitter. So I think that they're finding ways to get stops when they need to, which is big, and they're also like, don't forget, we talked about this early in the season. We talked about it coming into the year, that if you can have a really, really efficient offense, which the Kings are like top three in true shooting, top three in effective field goal percentage, their assist percentage, they're, in top six, pace, they're top 8 or 9. But like if you can have an efficient offense, it takes so much stress off your defense because they have to pull the ball out of the basket and you get to go set up your defense. So it's just giving them that little bit. And there will come a point where they get better on defense. It might require them to go get another player to help on that end. But still, like in the first 12 games, you played Steph Curry 3 times. You know what that guy does to your defensive numbers? There's nothing you can do when he's got 47
I
points.
believe 89 first half points is what he does to your defensive numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it like
That's crazy.
they're doing all right.
But I think the overall point is like those defense in those moments, like maybe defensive ratings aren't good, maybe they're lower in the league than we like in that regard, maybe just be average. But in the because their offense is keeping them in games, their defense is doing just enough. In the moments where it matters the most, you're seeing everyone from Terrence Davis to De'Aaron Fox to Malik Monk to everyone on the floor, Keegan Murray stepping up in some sort of defensive way to ensure that they win that possession and win that game.
Yeah, and we always talk about leadership moments, right? I want to point to something that I think probably somebody missed in the game last night. Chimezi Metu got isolated at the top of the key against Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins blew by Chimezi and went right to the rack and dunked the ball. I was watching and Metu couldn't shake it. He could not shake it. He was so upset with himself going up and down the court. You could see it taking him out of the game very quickly. And he was so upset with himself. And then I watched Fox notice it, take the Warriors off the dribble, flung a ball around 3 Warriors when he got to the basket to Metu, who got the ball, ran right down the middle, and hammered the ball down and hung on the rim. It was a moment where you saw leadership in the ways that I think De'Aaron Fox can lead, where he can sense something in one of his teammates, get them to forget what happened, get them back in the game, and have them flow the right way. And yeah, just like there are moments in these games that are like when you're watching, like that was a powerful moment for Fox and for Metu, like for Metu to be able to like shake it off and to move on and to, get his head back in the game. And that's just not something I've seen in the past. There weren't concerns for your teammates in the past. Not that you didn't help a guy off the floor, but
Mhm.
you didn't try to get somebody involved. You didn't try to get someone fixed. It was a lot of let me get my numbers and whatever happens, happens. And I don't see that this year.
You're suggesting De'Aaron's a leader?
Heck yeah, I'm suggesting he's a leader. I
Wow.
mean, what he's doing in the fourth quarter, the way he just, like, hey, hop on, let's go. I got
Yeah.
this. I mean, he scored. He had 9 points with like 30 seconds left in the third quarter last night. He got a bucket right before the end of the third. Went into the fourth with 11 points. Finished with 22 points.
Mm,
His fourth quarter play has been ridiculous
mm.
recently.
Yeah,
That Lakers game is such a defining moment for De'Aaron Fox for me.
He was
Like,
so
he
on
was just
point.
so
He was
good
so
in
on
that game.
point. He was deadly in the mid range. And James, we talked about it earlier in the show. He's to the point now where he understands how to get to whatever spot he wants to get to on the court and get his shot off. You know what I mean? Whether he's using a pick and roll or he's got a guy one on one. He said, whatever it is, if he wants a three, he can get that off. But if he wants to get to the mid range, he finds a way to get to about 17 feet away. He rises and fires, and he's got that down pat right now.
yeah, it's crazy too. I was looking at his numbers, and from like 3 to 10 feet, he's shooting like 57%. From 10 feet to 16 feet, he's shooting like 64% on the mid range jumper.
Mm.
Like, and he's shooting 90% at the rim. I mean, these are numbers that are just like absolutely astounding. And you talked about the Lakers game. There was a moment late where he just kept shifting gears and like changing speed and direction so fast that no one could stay with him. And he just floated around one guy after another, finally got to the right side of the rim and finished all the way on the other side with his left hand. It was just like he is when he's rolling, he's like a video game. And it's fun to see, like, talking to him in the locker room last night, talking to him a lot lately because they've been winning, and he's been starring. You just see the confidence level, and like he knows who he is. He really, really likes playing for Mike Brown, and that's been like a launching point for him. It's, a coach that holds him accountable, that's on him the whole time. Brown was all over him during that game last night. I think it was in the third quarter. Got all over him on a Warriors fast break where Fox collapsed in the middle and left a guy wide open in the corner for a three. But again, it's like that's what he wants. He wants a coach that yells and screams at him, that holds him accountable just like everybody else, and that's what Mike Brown is.